Hello everyone, I am Julia Austin, the Violence Prevention Coordinator and Advocate for Hands of Hope Resource Center in Todd and Morrison County. You can find us on our social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, our blog, and YouTube to connect with us. All can be found simply by searching Hands of Hope Resource Center or going to the description below to find the links. You can also find us at our website, handsofhope.net. We are going to now jump right into our topic for the day, which is how we can better assist and support survivors and victims of violence. So let's get started. If you know or suspect that someone is a victim of domestic violence or any type of abuse or crime, please feel free to reach out to our advocacy center because you might feel clueless about the best way to help someone, and we can provide you with resources and referrals to the situations that can help you. Don't let a fear of saying the wrong thing prevent you from reaching out. Waiting for the perfect words could keep you from seizing the opportunity to change a life. The world for many domestic abuse victims can be lonely, isolated, and filled with many fears. Sometimes reaching out and letting them know that you are there for them can provide tremendous relief. If you or a loved one are a victim of domestic violence, contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 for confidential assistance from trained advocates. For more mental health resources, see our national helpline database, how to help. There's so many different ways, and now we're going to get into that. Here are 9 tips that follow to help you support someone in this vulnerable situation. The first tip that we're going to discuss today is to make time for them. If you decide to reach out to an abuse victim, do so during a time of calm. Getting involved when tempers are flaring can put you in danger. Also, make sure to set aside plenty of time in case the victim decides to open up. If the person decides to disclose years of pent-up fear and frustrations, you will not want to end the conversation because you have another commitment. You can bring up the subject of domestic violence by saying, "I'm worried about you because," or "I'm concerned about your safety," or "I've noticed some changes that concern me." Maybe you've seen the person wearing clothing or to cover up bruises, or noticed that the person has suddenly become unusually quiet or withdrawn. Both can be signs of abuse. Let the person know that you'll be discreet about any information disclosed and that they'll be confidential within what you're talking about. Do not try to force the person to open up. Let the conversation unfold at a comfortable pace for the victim, and take it slow and easy. Just let the person know that you're available and offering a sympathetic ear and that you believe them. If the person decides to talk, listen to the story without being judgmental, offering advice or suggesting solutions. Chances are, if you actively listen, the person will tell you exactly what they need. Just give the person the full opportunity to talk. You can ask clarifying questions, but mainly just let the person vent their feelings and fears. You may be the first person in which the victim has confided with. Many people try to cover up the abuse for a variety of reasons, and learning the warning signs of domestic abuse can help you help them. Some physical signs are black eyes, busted lips, red or purple marks on the necks, sprained wrists, bruises on the arms, and some emotional signs could be low self-esteem, overly apologetic or meek, fearful, changes in sleeping or eating patterns, anxious or on edge, substance abuse, symptoms of depression, loss of interest in one's enjoyed activities and hobbies, and talking about suicide. Another behavioral sign that could be provided is becoming withdrawn or distant, canceling appointments or meeting at the last minute, being late often, excessive privacy concerning their personal life, and isolating themselves from family and friends. If you have a loved one or someone that you know is having suicidal thoughts, you can contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255 for support and assistance from a trained counselor. If you or a loved one are in immediate danger, please call 911. Because domestic violence is more about control than anger, often the victim is the only one who sees the dark side of the perpetrator. Many times, others are shocked to learn that a person they know could commit such violence. Consequently, victims often feel that no one would believe them if they told people about the violence that was happening. Believing the victim's story and saying so, for a victim, finally having someone who knows the truth about their struggles can bring a sense of hope and relief. Offer the victims these assurance phrases. I believe you, this is not your fault, and you don't deserve this. It's not unusual for victims to express conflicting feelings about their partner and their situation. These feelings can range from guilt and anger, hope and despair, love and fear. If you want to help, it is important that you validate their feelings by letting them know that having these conflicting thoughts is normal. But it is also important that you confirm that the violence is not okay, and it isn't normal to live in fear of being physically attacked or emotionally. Some victims may not realize that their situation is abnormal because they have no other models for relationships and have gradually become accustomed to the cycle of violence. You can tell the victim certain things like the violence and the abuse aren't part of a healthy relationship, and you can provide examples. Without judging, confirm to them that the situation is dangerous and you are concerned for their safety over everything else. It can be hard to understand why someone you care about would seemingly choose to stay in an abusive or unhealthy relationship. And here are a few reasons why it's not easy to part ways. You could have fear of harm if they leave. They still love their partner and believe that they will change. Your partner promised to change. A strong belief that marriage is for better or worse. Thinking the abuse is their fault. Staying for children. Lack of self-confidence. Fear of isolation or loneliness, pressure from family, community, or churches, lack of means such as a job, money, transportation to survive on their own. Help the victim find support and resources. Look up telephone numbers for shelters, social services, attorneys, counselors, or support groups. If available, offer brochures or pamphlets about domestic violence. You'll always want to help them get information on any laws regarding protective orders, restraining orders, and child custody informations. You can search state by state for legal information on womenslaw.org. If the victim asks you to do something specific and you are willing to do it, don't hesitate to help. If you are unable to try to find other ways that your needs can be met. Identify their strengths and assets and help them build and expand upon themselves so they find the motivation to help themselves. The important thing is to let them know that you are there for them, available at any time, and just let them know that the best way to reach you if help is needed. If possible, offer to go along for moral support, to the police, to court, or the lawyer's office. We always here at Hands of Hope Resource Center provide emotional support, and we can provide advocacy assistance in medical, law enforcement, interviews, and we can do as well as court hearings too. And let the person know that they are not alone and help is available. Call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 for immediate assistance and a referral to nearby counseling services or support groups. Although there is no right or wrong way to help a victim of domestic violence, you want to avoid doing anything that will make the situation worse. Here are some don'ts that experts suggest that you avoid. Don't bash the abuser, focus on the behavior and not the personality. Don't blame the victim, that's what the abuser does. Underestimate the potential danger for the victim and yourself. Promise any help that you can't follow through with. Give conditional support. Do anything that might provoke the abuser. Pressure the victim. Give up if they are willing not to open up at first. It's important to be patient and don't provide any false information. Or don't do anything that may make it more difficult for the victim to try and feel more comfortable about their situation. Although your natural impulses may be to rescue someone you care about from domestic violence or any type of violence at all, the person being abused needs to make the ultimate decision for themselves whether to leave and to get help. Keeping this in mind will help ensure that you are supportive to them no matter their decision, and continue to provide them with a loving and safe friendship provided with resources and referrals if they need to have them. Thank you all for watching, and feel free to support and connect and collaborate with all of us. Have a great day.